one person in there say they can't hear Julianne. Let's see. They can hear me now. Okay, so let me do that again. What we're going to be talking about today is a Game of Thrones and Game of Thrones. We're going to be talking about seasons 1 through 4 specifically. We're going to be talking about changes that hypothetically maybe we'd like to see, talk about the implications of those changes. We are using seasons 1 through 4 because it's kind of a consensus that those are those are the creme de lame. Those are the top tier seasons. Pretty solid stuff. So we're not going to be really going on that whole toxic train that's been chugging along for a few weeks now. We are going to be talking about stuff that maybe wasn't implemented from the books, but also stuff maybe that we would have liked to see or could have done better, or just strictly some things that we really enjoyed and relive some of the stuff that we that made us fall in love with this series. We're going to talk about stuff like how Stannis was handled. We're going to talk about Bran. We're going to talk about the Lannisters. We're going to talk about everything, and we want to know your guys' thoughts there. So pretty much we're going to go around and throw out hypotheticals. And again, it's not just, oh, well, they didn't do this from the books, and we really wish they would have done that. Some cases we're probably going to come to that conclusion, but it's not going to be totally they didn't do what the books did. It's going to be, hey, maybe this would work better, and I'm going to throw some curveballs at you guys, and maybe we'll start off with one. We'll start off with an easy one, to be fair, but I do want to know your thoughts on Lady Stoneheart being included and how you think that really would have played out overall, because that's one of the more controversial concepts out there, her inclusion, and I have my own ideas, of course, on that as well. But go ahead, Johnny, and do your introduction, and then we'll jump into it. Sorry, guys, I had to get the audio straight.
Well, it's all good. What is up, everyone? We know we wanted to see some strong Belwas in that tiny little leather vest. Everybody wants that. I hope everyone's having a good night. Hey, come check me out on Johnny Be Crazy. Next week, we'll be starting to cover Legion with Fandom de Saint, who I think kind of tried to derive his name from Justin. So, get at him on that. Tell him go back to Broke Black Man. Just kidding. And Venjenz will be covering Legion as it's concerned, and we'll be having the Expanse coverage coming back the week after next. I got to get caught up on some work. And also every Friday, again, starting next week, we have the Nooners of Ice and Fire. We cover the books, everything George R. R. Martin. So come check that out. It'd be really fun. With that, Lady Stoneheart, right? I think it could have been implemented. You have that revenge aspect with Catelyn. She's seemingly in the books trying to justify everything she's done and just goes straight cold-blooded. And we do get it mixed with Arya, and I feel like it dilutes Arya's character a little bit. Main thing for me.
Well, I think that the inclusion of Lady Stoneheart would have added a little bit more of the occult, which some people would have enjoyed. The pro to that, if I were to do a pro and cons board, which I think I did half the graphic for but did not finish, would be that really for the redemption arc of Jaime, she works very well in that. But really more so in Brienne, because Brienne swears an oath to her, but then just like Jaime has gone through changes, Brienne has gone through changes. So we all know, spoiler alert, and that's the last one you're ever getting. Brienne is, she's on the chopping block right now, or she's in a tight spot. Lady Stoneheart works in a way that these characters have to justify their actions to somebody that they gave an oath to that is no longer there. So when we have issues that some people have with Jaime's redemption arc, which is, it's a limited redemption arc, and a lot of people don't consider Brienne to be on a redemption arc, in Lady Stoneheart kind of does throw that in there, because Brienne does have some splaining to do.
She's on a path to realism, right? That's kind of what I think.
Yeah, so there's certain aspects that it definitely would help overall in that writer's room, where I'd probably just be getting the coffee if I was lucky. I wowould vote it down, because I think that it's a little much for the adaptation. I think that that they fared better when there was less occult, and we're going to be talking about the Children of the Forest and all that. Again, that's just my personal opinion, though. But I think it would be interesting, because it would put one more layer, in my opinion, to Brienne's character, because Brienne has to have an answer for what she's done. We see Brienne how she empathizes with Jaime in the show, and as well in the books. But this puts her in a situation where she's literally got her neck in a noose. So it's
And
interesting.
Vita chews her face off before that. She's going down this path. And remember Jerem talking about he was going to do a 5-year jump and ended up not doing it. So Pretty Maris is who Brienne actually ultimately kind of becomes. That's kind of a reflection of who Brienne is. She is like a sellsword, really ruthless. And that's what this is going to be a life-changing experience for Brienne. I think we're going to see her go down a dark path once she lives through this. And to be fair to the Stoneheart plot, there's not that much in the books. She's pretty fleeting. She's like a ghost in the shadows. When you hear about her, she's just killing people, and that's it. It's not Cleo Frey. I can't remember which Frey it is that's in a prologue in Storm of Swords that's riding up basically to his death. He thinks he's going to get his cousin back, and, well, he just gets hung. She's sitting there. She can't speak, whatever. She just nods, saying he's guilty. And then we have where Brienne gets caught, and then, they end on them hanging, and then next thing we know, we see Brienne coming and get Jaime. I think they could have did it because they could have kept her almost like a ghost.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And you do, I didn't particularly enjoy how Arya handled the phrase. So yeah, you're right. I want to get Mackenzie's take on this. I think that the only argument against it, or not, it's not my only argument against it, would be that you're drowning out some life blood from the resurrection and stuff like that. With Beric, it's done well to establish that it is fleeting and it is really not like a science about like who. There's not just because you get resurrected doesn't mean you're gonna like become a hero or some fulfill a prophecy. They established Beric as a character that's been resurrected more than anybody that we know, and he is not Azor Ahai or the last hero or anything. So I think that for the medium, I would have stayed away, but I think there are a lot of pros to it, and it's very interesting. Mackenzie, what's your take on it?
Yeah, the thing is, I feel like they would have been able to probably introduce Lady Stoneheart if they had the full, 8 or 9 seasons that were at full capacity, like 10 episodes. Like, we needed more.
They chose not to do.
I know, which they voluntarily chose not to do. But if they had more seasons and they had more hours of television, I'm pretty sure that they would have put her in.
Oop, that's probably not good.